Okay, I think I'm right. I think I'm going now. I think I got it plugged up in fine and everything. Hopefully, everybody will jump back in there and come back. Uh, Give me a few seconds here. Sorry about the goof up. Let's see if everybody will jump back in here. Hey, that's better. Tech, I had to reboot. Hey, Patrick. Hey, Zach. Hey, Fleet Tech. Yeah, I'm all screwed up this morning, guys. You know when your day starts off wrong. Yep, 21 years. It's something, isn't it? Since since 9/11. Well, I hope everybody jumps back in here that was in here. Hey, Craig, how are you? Yeah, yeah. I'm. Yeah. Well, thank you, Craig. Yeah, I hope everybody jumps back in here and gets started again with me. Everybody's allowed a goof up. I had a goof up this morning. I didn't know what to do there. I was panicking. You panic when it's supposed to happen, and then you're looking at stuff and you go, what went wrong? Hey, Renegade, I hadn't seen you in a while. Glad to see you in here. Yeah, yeah. I missed the first few minutes here. I goofed up. I didn't have my microphone on. Not that y'all really want to hear me. Y'all probably can do without this old crazy old man. Yeah, I was controlled panic, that's for sure. But I'm back at it. Take two. Um, well, that's good. That's good, Craig. Uh, I I was thinking this morning what I was doing 21 years ago. I'd actually just gotten in from work. I'd sat down. Uh, sat down in my recliner and was watching a little TV and saw the planes. Well, the first announcement was I was watching like the Today Show or something like it because it was Katie Couric and she had on that girl from England, uh, Tracy Ullman. She had Tracy Ullman on there, and they were talking about something, and she broke. Uh, Her and Matt Lauer said something about a plane had struck one of the twin towers, and I thought a small plane. I had no idea it was 737. And then they showed. I was watching it, and you could see that other big plane coming live. They showed it live, and it hit the towers. I'm thinking, what in the world is going on? And that was something. But yeah, I had just gotten off work. I'd been working the third shift, driving a truck as usual, and just sat down and was sort of relaxing and taking it easy. And boy, that was something. That was something, and that kept us spellbound the rest of the day, watching the news and everything else. I mean, that's all you could. You were fixated at that point. I mean, it was, it just overwhelmed you. Okay, tomorrow marks 11 years for you working at Fort Worth, Leavenworth. Okay, yeah. Well, it's we all of us with a little bit of age and everything on us that can kind of remember that what we were doing. I mean, it was traumatic to say the least. And when that happened, and then something hit the plane hit the Pentagon, and you knew, hey, there's something going on here. There's something strange going on. Yeah, I mean, it was a very surreal type time. You knew something was crazy, and something just was not right. But you were driving, or you were driving a dumb truck on a military base. Okay. All right, Renegade. Yeah. I had just come in from working all night long on the third shift. And like I said, I was tired and everything, but I just, flipped on the TV and sitting down in my den that I don't use anymore since we remodeled it. So that was back before we would even remodeled our house. You were at work rebuilding a radiator. Yeah. Yeah, it's something that, some of us saw it actually live on TV, and some of us were, heard it on the radio, or some of us may been working and didn't have access to a radio, and then were told by other people. So of course we all kind of remember where we were and what we were doing on 9/11. It's such a traumatic time in our life. I mean, it was something. And I mean, I remember it. I remember it like it was yesterday. And like I said, it's hard to believe that it was 21 years ago. You were in bed watching the morning news. Okay, yeah. Well, that's sort of like me. I'd sat down in my recliner. Uh, I had my recliner downstairs in my downstairs den, that we don't use as much anymore, but that's where the main TV was at that time. And I was sitting there relaxing, and probably about ready to doze off myself because I'd worked all night, and had the TV on, and was boom. That it just shocked me. Then we're like I said, then we were fixated with it and everything. We had to watch it all day and all night, and wondered what was going to happen. Yeah, Leavenworth. Hmm. Oh, your job was on Moreland Avenue then. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, I know where Moreland Avenue is. Yeah, Moreland Avenue, and then the one thing that always gets me is there's so many streets and everything to say Peachtree down in Atlanta. I mean, you would think every other street is Peachtree. It's Peachtree this, Peachtree that. There's a lot of that down in Atlanta. Of course, Atlanta, uh, the growth down there is phenomenal. I don't see how it continues to grow like it does. Yeah, it's it's one of those things. But the world hopefully will change for the better. We hope. We need to continually remember 9/11, and to remember where our enemies come from, and how quick they can hit us too. Yeah, yeah. I tell you what, I can't go to Atlanta Fleet Tech. It's uh, Atlanta is just so. I mean, it once you get down, 20 miles outside of Atlanta, you're in stop and go traffic 24 hours a day. I-85 is a cluster. I mean, it just, 8 lanes going nowhere. I mean, it just blows your mind. They need a bypass around the bypass around the bypass down in Atlanta. They should have us a bypass up there about Commerce, Georgia, that shoots straight across the northern route and comes out over in Alabama, so we can miss that bottleneck by going down into Atlanta and then back up toward Alabama and that sort of stuff. Yeah, it is. I mean, they do. They need to build an interstate out through the countryside there from Commerce, Georgia, and just go straight across northern wise, and go across there, and then go all the way, past. I guess Dalton, Georgia, and on into Alabama, and then maybe that back down to Birmingham, like that, somehow or another, to alleviate some of that cluster down there at 85 and 75 and 285. And man, I mean, Atlanta traffic and 20. Yeah, yeah, I forgot you got 20, I-20, I-75, I-85, all that coming together down there. And it is a mess. I mean, I it used to be when I was young, you took I-20, I mean, I-285, not I-20. You take instead of going through downtown Atlanta, you say, oh well, we'll just take 285 around Atlanta, and it will be easy. And it would. It was only 4 lanes then too, and you could get around Atlanta pretty good. Of course, this was back in the late '60s, early '70s too, where and that's 50 something years ago. That's hard to believe. And then that many years later, I mean, it's twice as many lanes and twice as much or 10 times more traffic. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, all that traffic going into Atlanta, I mean, it just comes to a screeching halt because it's all trying to get into Atlanta and then disperse itself out of Atlanta. I mean, they need to have some relief valves. Like I said, if they had a northern route around Atlanta and a southern route around Atlanta, if they had something, if they would take Commerce, Georgia, and kind of split one interstate uh, to the left down toward uh, 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 not Augusta, but down toward Athens and everything, and then take another one and go over from Commerce on over toward Dalton and that direction. And I mean, it would relieve something, I would think, but I don't know. It may just be like the other. I mean, they built all these loops around Atlanta, and you would have thought years ago that would have helped and relieved things, and it just got clustered up even more. It's an amazing. It's a cluster. That's about the best you can say about cluster and whatever adjective you want to put on the end of cluster. Uh, but it, Atlanta traffic. I had how many trucks? At one time I had 4 trucks going. I had one going to Doraville, and then from Doraville up to Marietta, and then back up to Charlotte. And then I had one going in daytime into Atlanta and back, one going nighttime into Atlanta and back. Oh yeah, and I had the 2 out of Savannah, from Savannah to Atlanta and back. I had those at night, and boy, the Savannah to Atlanta wasn't too bad. The southern part, because we were down on 675, and we could get in and out of that pretty good. But all the stuff coming from Charlotte into Atlanta was just terrible. I mean, it was a terrible, terrible situation. But enough about Atlanta traffic. But that definitely is something else. But getting back on the none of them pulled triples. We all pulled doubles. When you can't pull triples in Georgia and South Carolina and North Carolina. Triples only allowed. Pennsylvania's got triples. That's one of them on the East Coast, and out west they got triples. But I don't know very many places on the East Coast that they're allowing triples. I mean, I know the Pennsylvania Turnpike's one, but I don't know that many more. I mean, triples are really not that prevalent with FedEx. I mean, we've got them. We they've got them. I never pulled a triple. I mean, of course, they say it's just one more trailer, no big deal. Hey, Jamie. Oh, you're still in Pensacola, are you? Well, I hope you've been down there a long time. I hope you're making some good money down there. Uh, you may need to continue to stay down there because the weather up north is going to change before long. And of course, it'll be your luck. You'll have to go back up north when the weather turns bad, won't you? I'm 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 glad that we've had good, decent weather down here in North Carolina. We finally got caught up on our rain a little bit. We were dry as everything for the majority of the summer, and we've had rain the past few weeks. It rained good yesterday, and we had I think 2 inches of rain yesterday. Nice steady rain helped us and everything. Oh, you getting into the fall weather in Kansas? We're feeling a little bit of change in the air. Um, I've noticed it the past few days. The humidity's not being as bad. I mean, it's not as crazy hot as it has been. I mean, July and August were whew, those were some hot days during those 2 months. I mean, we had some steamers in the 90s and everything for a long time. Pollen's not too bad right now, I don't think. But we've had like I said, we've got our fair share of rain. Finally got caught up a little bit on that, and you know, just it is what it is. We can always hope for the best for the weather and all that sort of stuff. And speaking of that, I'm gonna have to get out and fight the weather in a little bit. I'm not going to stay on here quite as long this morning because my wife has a long list for me of things for me to do. We have a reunion that we're not a family reunion, a class reunions. Uh, we got like 5 classes: 69, 70, 71, 72, and 73 high school classmates are going to have a reunion this next Saturday. And we got the reunion meeting that we've been having at our house for the past 5 months. And we've got the last one. They're going over all the financials and everything else. That we've got the last one today at our house at 3 o'clock. So my wife, of course, has to have me tidy up a few things outside and make sure the yard looks good. Make sure I've got a big equipment yard over here where all my trailers and my skid steers and tractors and everything are next to my house. So I got to tidy that up and get it looking better. Uh, you know how it is. If you know all you guys that are married, the wife wants it placed a certain way, and that's what I got to do. Whether it makes sense or not, it doesn't matter. It's still what I've got to do. I mean, it's if she says do it, you just go ahead and do it. She says jump, I say how high. I know, but I hear the vacuum cleaner in the background right now, so she's vacuuming and doing a lot of other stuff. Yeah, I got to dress the place up and all that sort of stuff. Well, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get off and everything. I hope y'all understand. 9/11 is something to think about. Y'all have a good week. I'm gonna go ahead and get off because my signal from the vacuum cleaner in the background is I better get off. And she's more or less saying it's time for you to leave, time for you to get to work. So y'all guys take care. I'll catch you next week. I'll try to have the microphone fixed next time. See ya.